We'll go ahead and get started. I'm just going to record this just so I can review it for myself. Okay. Well, thank you all for being here for the kickoff for Operation Zero. The whole goal is to set up a diet for you to lose 0 pounds between now and the new year. So whatever you can do between now and then is to just like maintain throughout the entire time. Like, don't gain any weight. The average American gains 7 to 8 pounds over the holidays. So that puts you in the hole whenever you get to New Year's. And most people want to lose 20 pounds anyway, so instead of wanting to lose 20 pounds in the New Year, you have to lose 27, 28 pounds. So don't dig yourself into a hole. Maintain, don't gain, 0 pound weight loss diet or gaining weight. Lose 0, gain 0. And like to conceptualize all this, it's to build like specific habits that will make you well-rounded throughout your entire life, so that you can achieve those things without having to like overstress and overwork and put all this pressure on you. Taking like small actionable items every single day to help build up your habits and build up your confidence. Like, I'm sure your habits have changed a lot, Jill, since you started working out here. And like, if you thought like, oh, to lose however much I need to lose, I'll have to make massive changes. And you probably have made massive changes, but they've just been like incremental, like degree by degree by degree, and eventually like you turn the battleship. You're able to like correct things. So that's what I want to do with Operation Zero here. I'll go over all this stuff in 1 second, but before we do that, this wouldn't be a nutrition and habits seminar without talking about nutrition stuff first. So nutrition, what we want to do for nutrition is have a balanced diet throughout the day. We want to have 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. We want to have 1 gram of carbohydrate per pound of body weight. And then we want to have like 0.3 grams of fat per pound of body weight. So less on the fat, just because fat is more calorically dense, so we want to have less of it relative to our body weight. But in general, for most people, we want one protein, and 1 carb, and then 0.3 per pound of body weight. And for people who haven't eaten 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, that is a lot starting off with. Like if I were to tell somebody to come in and like, hey, you know, if it was somebody like me, it was 210 pounds, I need to eat 210 grams of protein a day, and I'm used to only eating 30 grams of protein a day, it makes it very like, it's a drastic change in your body, drastic change in your life of what you gotta do. So, what's up, Winston?
Winston, say hi.
Hello, Crystal. Yeah.
Hi.
So Rudy's just gonna wanna play. Yes.
Grams or ounces, which is more relatable.
No, I don't. I'd have to look those numbers. And quiet in the back.
Alright, we're gone. Let
Let him off the leash. Let him off the leash.
Sure.
Yeah. Let him off the leash.
I'm right off the leash. It's fine.
No play.
Stop barking, man.
All right, Crystal, I'll send you the recording. Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate you.
You look pretty, Winston.
Yeah, you look great, Winston. Just went to the groomer. We'll give it a second. Okay. All right. So that I don't know grams to ounces to grams. There are a lot of an easy way to think about it instead of worrying about. Bye, Winston. Thank you. Thank you for dropping by. Hey. Yep. Rudy, come here. Rudy. Just leave him in the car.
I
Not that
know.
good. Dogs are fine in the car. So if you want to think about like portions, instead of worrying about grams and all this kind of stuff, every meal center it around protein, a hand of protein. So like this size of protein in your dish. Okay, and then for carbohydrates, about the same size. Okay, and then fats, like a thumb of fats, because fats are so calorically dense, that is equivalent to this of protein.
Okay.
As far as like calories goes. Okay, but centering your meal on the protein rather than the carbs. Americans have it backwards. They're like, I'm gonna have spaghetti and then I'm gonna have whatever with it. You know, instead of thinking like I'm gonna have chicken breast. What can I have with it? Hey, I'll throw a little pasta sauce on it, and boil up some spaghetti.
You come from a Puerto Rican Cuban family, it's a pot of rice and then whatever you add to it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's never.
Hand portions and all that.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Lucky.
I mean, there.
And that's why we use hands. So Jill's hand size is different than your hand size.
Yeah.
So like your hand will feed you better than like if she tried to eat your hand size and protein for every meal, she'd be stuffed.
Vomiting.
Yeah, vomiting. That's a lot. That's a lot of food. That's a lot. So that's like big picture nutrition stuff. But the more we eat protein, the more full we're going to be. The more full we are, the less we're likely to go like binge eat and like be on the glucose dragon that I like to call it. So like whenever you eat something sweet, you're always chasing that glucose dragon like all the time and trying to get more sugar, Eat something protein centric, you're not going to want to chase that sugar dragon all over the place. All right. Any questions on nutrition before I move on anything? We're going to come back to all that whenever we're actually like diving in and boiling down our habits. But I want to talk about habits, and habits defined is a settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. So that's the definition of a habit. And all creatures are creatures of habit, okay? Rudy, when he hears my keys jingle, he knows it's time to go and he wants to go with me because he doesn't want to be without me. Whenever we like are wrapping up a class, a small group class or one of my team trainings, he'll come over to me because he knows it's probably time to walk. Okay, so he's very much a creature of habit. We are creatures of habit. We like to do the things that we like to do, and the more habit we're in, the more likely we are to go into that pattern. Okay, it's called like neurological pathways in your brain. Literally, like if when you always go down the same like mental thought process, your brain will always go down that mental thought process. And like if you are used to thinking one way, your brain will go that way, and you'll just keep walking that ditch deeper and deeper. The more you tread that path, the deeper it's going to get in your brain. That's why those habits are hard to get out of. So like for people who lay in bed and watch TV, they've done it their entire lives, and try to take that TV away from them, and they're like, I can't get to sleep. It's a big problem. I don't know if anybody's guilty of that in here, but just saying. Okay, somebody had some guilty look on their face. Let's see here. So some of the like habits. So whenever I have a long, grueling day, like I've been coaching since 5 a.m., had a bunch of stuff going on today. So like my tendency whenever I go home tonight is like put on the TV, get in Dan's position right there, and just like flip through the TV and just like veg out and relax. Okay, and that's not a habit I necessarily like, but it's something that I do that I want to break. And then like another thing that I do whenever I achieve a big milestone or have a big objective that I accomplish, I'll either like do a self-sabotaging behavior of some kind and kind of undo all the success I just had, whether that's in diet or work or relationship or whatever, or I'll just go into a long, steady coast and just kind of like rest on my laurels, and then like 2 months later I'll be like, oh crap, I haven't done anything in a long time, and now I'm basically back to zero. So either way, I kind of like regress a little bit. But awareness precedes change, so if you're aware of it, you can try to cut it off. And we're going to go through some awareness protocols here in a second. So remember that. Awareness precedes change. So think about that. But our days are dictated by the things we do, and the things we do are most likely not a result of happenstance, just random happenstance, but a purposeful action we take, either good or bad. So even the bad stuff we do is a habit. It's just, we don't think of it as a habit. We don't think of it as a habit. We just think of it as, oh, darn it, I don't like that thing. And I'm doing it again. Like I'm going and like I'm eating sugar too late in the night. I'm not getting my exercise. I'm not stretching. I'm not drinking enough water. I'm not doing the basic things that you should do because you have a different habit already in place. So we're gonna try to like dissect those bad habits we have and see if we can like turn those around, and that's what this board here will help us with. One last thing on habits is to not think about the goal. Don't be goal oriented in your habit, but be process oriented. So like sleep is super important to me. If I don't get enough sleep, I'm cranky, I'm hungry, I don't like make good coaching decisions, I don't coach as well. I'm not as active in like helping others. I'm just more prone to like self-inclusion and just like flip through my phone and not be a good coach. And that's what I want to do most of all. So instead of having a habit goal of I want to sleep 8 hours every night, like that is impossible. Like I won't do 8 hours every night, but what habits can I put in place to help me get the 8 hours every night? Okay, so the goal isn't the habit. The process is the habit to get to the goal. Does that make sense? All right, cool. So how are habits formed? Let me grab a marker real quick. A couple of them, couple markers. Hopefully they work. I think there's some here too. Nope. All right, well I've got 3 markers.
Find one that works.
Okay, so how are habits formed? And if we know how habits are formed, we can dissect and prevent more habits from forming. So one is community. So the people who you surround yourself with. You know, if you surround yourself with, let's just like back when I was in DC, like there were staffers that just wanted to drink a lot and go to happy hours and go to all the big fancy functions and all that stuff, and that just wasn't my lifestyle. It's not what I wanted to do, so I didn't really hang out with them. I went and hung out with like gym friends, and that put me in a better environment to have better like habits and better success. If I'm hanging around people who care about their health, I'm more likely to care about my health. If I hang around people who are going out and drinking 4 nights a week, I'm probably going to be going out and drinking 4 nights a week. Right? So the community is super important. And then we've got, let's see if I can remember my little acronym here. It's a U. Hold on. It's going to come to me. Don't let me look at my sheet. Got it. Upbringing. Okay. So upbringing are basically the habits that you inherited from your parents or grandparents or whoever were your influences around you when you were younger, good or bad. But you choose whether they are good or bad to have them continue in your life. So you could have a habit that's really good, like, man, my dad was, and like honestly, like my dad was up at like 4 a.m. every day, and I never understood how he did it, but he always said how he liked it and like got a lot more done, and I always wanted to emulate that. And on the other hand, my dad would get home at 5 a.m. and he would sit like Dan, drink beer, and flip through the TV and watch the news and get all angry and storm off. So, and then like that's a habit I don't want to have, you know what I mean? So, but I observed that and I learned that habit. So whenever I come home from a hard day at work, I feel like I deserve to sit around and get angry at the TV. So, but you still choose to do that. So, upbringing, absorbed habits, chosen, absorbed habits. Okay, and then the last one is environment. All right. If candy is in your house, is it easy to eat candy?
Oh, yeah.
You know, if there's not a Peloton in your house, is it like hard to go to like ride a bike? If you don't have a bike at all, is it hard to ride a bike? It's very hard to ride a bike. And environment is all about like bad decisions, hard and good decisions, easy. So if we're looking at our habits, we want to craft our environment so that the bad things we don't like, are really hard to do, and the good decisions are really easy to do. So to go back to my example of watching the TV, if you guys want to grab some med balls, and put them up against the wall, you can lean up against the wall. That might be a little more comfortable.
Seriously, good.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Well, I've got a med ball in back, like a big bouncy one. You can sit on that one too. Going back to my example of coming home and sitting on the couch, a way that I could prevent that from happening is like take my TV and turn it around. So like any time that I want to turn on the TV, I have to turn the TV around. Or like another way is like I'd have to like super glue my remote to the wall so that I can't just sit there and just like flip through the TV all the time. All right, and if I wanted to change the channel, I have to come up and like hit the buttons and get all uncomfortable. So craft your environment in a way to make the bad hard and make the good easy. So if I wanted to be more productive when I get home, or have a better way to unwind when I get home, is maybe pick an audiobook or like a series that would help relax me, something that would help relax me at night rather than like help me get me fired up, you know, from all of the angry news and whatnot. So making good decisions easy. So find something that would, you know, maybe I want to learn more about jazz artists. So I'll like find a podcast about jazz artists, and they're going to be very soft talking like NPR, and they're going to be playing soft music, listening to jazz and whatnot. So that's a way to make a good decision easy. That makes sense? All right, cool. Then the final way that habits are formed is it's you. So it's just you, but I'll just spell it Y-O-U. So you choose ultimately. I'll just have this be ultimately you. So ultimately it's your responsibility whether you have your habits or not, and you can change them. Okay? There are drug addicts, there's porn addicts, there's TV addicts, there's drama addicts, there's all sorts of like 12-step programs, like whatever, because people get addicted to all sorts of things. Anything to kind of flee pain and go to what they think is comfort. And those people can change. They've changed. I've changed as a result of some of those, like working on my habits and changing my thought process. So don't think that you are a victim of your environment. You're a victim of your upbringing. You're a victim of your community. You ultimately decide how you want to live your life. Okay? That's super important. So let's reverse. We're gonna do a thing. We're gonna reverse engineer habits. So I've got a worksheet here. I'm gonna talk through it and I'm gonna hand it out. How to spot bad habits before it happens. So usually bad habits happen as a result of something else, or you do something that hurts you as a result of an outside force or an outside stressor or something. So what causes me stress? I feel guilty when I ... I feel shame when I ... Because usually when you feel guilty or shame, you don't go and do a good thing. More often than not. Some might, but most people don't. I react to stress by ... When I feel guilty, I ... When I feel shame, I ... So we're just going to try to identify those factors, and I got pens, and we can write through all this, and then we're going to flip that on its head, and we're going to spot the good habit to encourage it from happening, or to encourage it happening. The best, and then those questions are: the best gift I bring to the world is, like ... I operate my best when, like I said earlier, like I operate best whenever I have like 8 hours of sleep. So how can I make sure I get like as close to 8 hours as possible? I feel most amped, like whenever I complete something, like I feel great. Like whatever that situation is, like write that down and think about it. Okay? And then we're gonna go through another habit formation thing after that. So we'll go ahead and hand this out. There you go. There you go. Yep, I'll just hand them all out. There we go. Might be kind of hard to write. Might need to double it up or something like that. Maybe a little more. There you go, boys. You are here. You're participating. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yep. We got pens. Who needs a pen?
Me.
Bless you. Bless you. Who's me? Dan. Bless. There we go. There we go. Whoa. Sorry, bad toss. Ariel, Jill?
Yes, please.
Okay. There you go. If you guys want to grab a box, you can write on one of those boxes or something. Yeah. So take a few minutes, and it's the top questions. you go.
Oh, okay, that's.
Yeah. You guys good there? Yeah, don't one of you stand up, because the other one's gonna, seesaw.
I'm good.
You good? Anybody need anything to write on? Okay. All right. Fill those all in. Want some water, bud? Ooh.
It's something like a super weird.
Huh?
I'm writing on my phone here.
Here, use
And
my
I
book.
sent a text to 20 people that just said CNBC.
Nice. That's what causes you stress. CNBC.
You know, I did not watch TV for a week and it was wonderful.
Wasn't it awesome? Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
We got rid of ours 12 years ago.
Voice.
I did get rid of my direct this week.
Good. Because you realize how much you didn't need it.
Plus how expensive it was.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what should cause you to.
Well, the news will give anybody a freaking stress condition right there.
Don't worry about the next ones yet. Yeah, don't worry about that next section down. We're just doing the reverse engineering here.
We're overachievers.
Yeah, don't worry about that. We're gonna talk about that one here in a second.
Because the reverse engineering is all three of these.
Yeah, just the top three sections. Now, we don't have to share,
Good.
but not sharing is probably,
Sharing's caring.
yeah, well, and then not sharing is, showing that
It's
you
just
are
rude.
embarrassed, and it's
That
something you
should be
don't.
written down on your shame.
And but as you think through this stuff, we're not gonna go like what causes you, or I feel guilty when we're not gonna talk about the action, but we're gonna talk about the result of the action. So the second section is like, I react to stress by, anybody wanna share?
Well, overeating.
Overeating? Okay.
Where was I react? Oh, I forgot that.
I've got being grumpy.
Being grumpy? Okay.
Yeah, I lash out.
Lash out.
Mine's overthinking.
Overthinking, so you go internal. Yeah.
Worrying.
Worrying. So that you react to stress by worrying. Yeah, you go internal, like.
Mhm.
How about you, Marty?
What was the question?
I react to stress by.
Well, I think so far I got them all covered,
Yeah,
but I just put shutting down, cause effectively that's what it does.
shutting down.
Regardless how you, whether you worry or overthink it, or scream, or cry, or whatever.
Yeah.
You effectively shut down, that's why I call it shut down, cause you can ask them, it's probably at
Yeah.
least all these things mentioned here.
Yeah. What about you boys back there? You react to stress by.
Find us something I'm good at and winning,
So you try to turn it around, try to flip it on its head.
just like, whatever, just, okay, so we're gonna like pull up my game, win quickly, get back in my mindset, and continue what I'm doing.
Okay.
Pretty much the same, I mean, I just go 100% on whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, that's good. I mean, you go 100% on whatever, as in what?
Like, school,
Okay,
friends, you know, trying to be a good person.
Yeah.
Just whatever it is at the moment that comes my way.
that's good. Well, let's all try to be like them, huh? Yeah.
Right.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, like
That's that
I
younger generation
like,
there,
right?
I get frustrated, I get angry, and like, yeah, they got the Tom Brady GOAT mentality back there. Like, oh, well, I'm stressed. Well, I'm just gonna go win. Okay, that's all they're gonna do. So whenever I feel guilty, like I'll beat myself up. Like if I do something I don't like, I'll kick the crap out of myself. And even if it's something minor that isn't necessarily something bad, but it's just something that like kind of like gets me out of my flow and out of my like feeling like I'm living up to my purpose, then I'll just like get in this like circular ass kicking machine in my head and just kick the crap out of myself. And then when I feel shame, like I feel like I've just really like shut down. Like, I won't talk to others. Like I won't be communicative, like with my friends, the people who like know they need to ask me questions and stuff. Whenever they don't hear from me for a while, they're gonna be like, "Yo, what's going on?" Like my coaches, like when they don't hear from me for a while, they're like, "You doing all right?" Or I'll reach out to them and I'll have this big explosion. You know, I'll just bottle it up, and then I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. This is ridiculous. You know. But none of those things are good unless you're those kids back there. So we want to like try to turn that stuff around. And the best way to turn those things around is to like identify and know they're coming, because awareness precedes change. So if you feel like you have guilty, you know, like a guilty feeling or shamed, you've done and like you know like what you've done to be guilty or have shame, you can avoid even doing those actions to feel guilty, so that you don't get angry, so you don't worry, you can maximize the gift you have to the world. We'll wait a second while the train goes by. Pause for this commercial from Norfolk Southern.
If I may, how do I react to stress? It could be a lot.
We need a lot of time.
For what?
I think we need too much.
We need another session for that.
Yeah. We only go to 6:30. We only got like 20 more minutes,
That's
man.
like private training, private counseling. but-
Yeah. We'll just get a bunch of med balls out. And we'll just slam them until we.
Not just says he's gonna need more paper.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it's all the above, it depends on
Yeah.
what it is. But effectively you shut down because it hijacks whatever you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, and
I mean, and I would say I go through all,
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
but like, yeah. So avoiding getting to those situations, which is what we're trying to get to. And then another way that I really like doing this, and we won't go over it now. We'll just do a quick like popcorn. I'll just call on people. But we got 5 habits to be an absolute train wreck. So like if you purposely wanted to like undermine your spirituality, your family, your profession, and your health, like what would you do? Like you would binge eat, you would stay up late watching TV, you know, you wouldn't tell the truth, you would do like things that are destructive. And so if you can identify what something would be that would like undermine your health, then just do the opposite of that. Oh, somebody who stays up late watching TV, well then I just won't do that. Like I'll try to go to bed at like 9 o'clock and not watch TV before I go to bed. Somebody who binge eats McDonald's, or goes through the drive-through whenever they're stressed or whatever. that's undermining your health. Okay, so then I just won't go through the drive-through. Like I won't eat fast food. Like I'll eat only whole food, protein-centered meals. Things that came from an animal or came from the ground and not processed. So what's one thing that like an absolute train wreck of a person would do to like have bad spirituality? Jill,
You're gonna call them
we'll come. You want to come back to you?
Yeah.
Okay. If you wanted to wreck your profession, Jill, what would you? If you wanted to go into school tomorrow, if you want to go to school, yeah, what would you do?
Going drunk.
Going drunk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Or,
So
be
show.
late.
Yep. Be late. Yep. Yep.
Cuss a
Um,
kid out.
what about
I would
your
cuss a kid out, yes. Those are bad.
Dan? What about you? What if you wanted to do something to just absolutely wreck your health? What would you do?
I don't know. Probably guess stay up.
Stay up super late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
several nights.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Yvonne? If you wanted to do something to just wreck your spirituality, your relationship with God,
Missing church on Sunday.
missing church on Sunday? Yeah.
To be fed that way too.
Yeah. And yeah, some people like don't even go to church and they think they're spiritual. You know what I mean? So like, you could do even like worse than that. You know what I mean? Like that's where you are, but some people are not in that good of a spot. You know what I mean? So kudos to you.
Oh, no, I
Like,
do
no-
miss church, so that's why. it's
Yeah.
one of my problems. That's
Yeah,
why
there we go. There we go. Good. Yeah. So do the opposite of
That
that. Like,
starts your week on the wrong foot if you miss church. So.
yeah, and then so like, what can I do to like flip that on its head? Okay, I'll just go to church. You know, like I'll pick up my Bible once a day. All right. Any questions on that? That like, so you're gonna take these home, but like, look and think about these things and like write down a list of things that you would just like wreck your life with. All right. Any other questions? Any other? Okay, let's go over to the other side. So 3 ideas for a good habit for spiritual, health, professional, and then family/relational. And then for professional, you know, Martha, you're retired. Marty, you're raising the kids, like you're kicking ass doing that stuff. So think like your creative outlet, your hobby, something like that. Okay, like you have a job, you two have a job. So like profession, you're in school as well. So you could think of like school. You kids are in school.
Don't call
So
for a vote on what you just said from them.
nah.
Don't go for a vote.
Yeah.
Go for their opinion.
So everybody write down 3 ideas for each of the spiritual, health, professional, and then family and relational. Martha, I've got some other things you can write on here. Here, I got a book. I got a big old book you can write on. Yeah.
Oh, that's a You know, today I was so tired and I went to what they call sit and sew, to unfinished projects, and I took 3 projects with me to work on. I was so tired, I missed all 3 of them. So what did I do on the way home? I beat myself up because I've made so many mistakes, I'm gonna have to redo everything that I did.
Yep. Yep.
And I knew I shouldn't have gone because I was so tired.
Yep. Yeah, so Dan, we're on is this your 3 ideas? We'll flip to the next page. 3 things for
Here, you got
for
mine.
good habits. Yeah, yeah.
Don't
Sorry.
look at that.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, not looking at it, but just
I wanna be.
you have 2 written down.
Sam, I'm not
Come
gonna
on,
be
Ariel.
serious.
Come on, Ariel. You're in school. You're young. You got a sharp mind. You got it. Thinking process too. So if you want to have good health, what are some process stuff you can do? If you wanna have good, like, professional outcomes, school outcomes, you know, like, study 1 hour, one day, like, 1 hour each day, or, 20 minutes dedicated, like, quiet, focused study time. Something that would get to the goal that you want. Give it a few more minutes here. All right, how we doing, folks? We good? One more time? All right. Okay, so keeping those in mind, we're gonna go over the big sheet here. So, how this is gonna work, anybody write out some good stuff? Let's go over it, talk it over. Write out some good stuff, you feel good about it? Like, I wanna go do these things right now? Yeah? Okay, what's something you wrote down?
For which one?
I don't know, whichever one.
Well, for school, I put research outside of the textbook.
Okay,
And for health, I put more water, more veggies, and less energy drinks.
yeah. So, yeah, a good way to put that, so, research outside of, just the textbook. So you can just put it as one extra citation outside of the textbook. Instead of like, I'm going to look at stuff outside the textbook, like, no, I'm going to get one, or I'm going to get two, like, make it specific. 'Cause if it's not specific, you're just gonna like brush it off,
Okay.
okay? How are you, Yvonne?
Well, for health, for me, planning meals is a big deal.
Okay,
I have to hold myself accountable, so a weekly weigh-in, and exercise daily, and I also write this on the calendar because it holds me accountable.
yeah,
I need to do
Exercise
more
daily.
of that.
Yeah.
That's something I look towards.
yeah. How about you, Marty?
For.
Any of them.
For health, I just want to be physically active with a purpose. You know, like I've told you.
Yeah,
That's like, this is what that's about,
yeah,
rather than just
Yeah.
walking or whatever.
for sure.
I mean, yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah. No, for sure. That's good. Okay. For our for this, we're gonna operationalize all of those ideas, and we're gonna make it one daily thing that we can do. So the goal here for this, and I don't know if y'all saw my Facebook post, but I had 5 months straight of a calendar filled up with dash marks and then area filled in. So my goal every day was a morning routine, and I put a dash on my calendar, and then an evening routine, I did a dash on my calendar. In my evening routine, I tried to make it so that I wasn't like just rushing through it, but like a purposeful evening routine to try to bring myself down and calm me down. And then I filled up the quadrants. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I had 4 different goals. One goal was read the Bible first thing, so I'd do that. Another one was that was spiritual. And then for professional, I did 1 social media post a day, so I would fill that quadrant in. Okay. For family, text 1 family member a day, or like close friend a day, to tell them, what's up and I love them and all that stuff. So then I would fill that one in. And then for health was just getting. It wasn't actually. I had a different one, but I had I had like another professional one. It was like read 15 minutes of like a book a day, and that was my other one. But for this one, we're going health because, I mean, I think I have the health thing down. I mean, I can always be better for sure, but like right now, like that's not what I need to focus on. But every day I had that filled up, and for almost like 5 months straight, like I would fall off a little bit on the weekends, and some of them wouldn't be filled in. But it was like every day was dash, filled in. Because I was like just purposeful doing that. It was 1 social media post. It didn't have to be a huge video, it didn't have to be a huge blog post, but just like something, hey, quick, but at least 1 social media post a day. Texting 1 family member, reading the Bible first thing, and then reading for a professional like development. And that one was really hard for me, just dedicating 15 minutes to sit down to do that. But after the end of that 5 months, like all those things started to become very robotic and very like, not robotic in a bad way, but just kind of automatic. It's like if I just went out and said I want to post more on social media, I would have no way of like actually tracking it. It wouldn't actually happen. It's just like when we were saying, I want to eat better. Like it's not going to happen unless you like plan what you're going to do, visualize it, and then like track your progress over time. It's like awareness precedes change, but change is shown by tracking. You got to track that, okay? And this is going to help you do that. So the morning, the directions are on the back of this sheet. We have a morning routine and an evening routine, and then it's 3 questions. The feeling I want to create today is, so like a feeling, like how, like I want to feel successful. I want to feel confident. I want to feel purposeful. I want to feel intentional. So that would like set my frame for the day. One thing I'm most excited about is like today I would write down my habits and nutrition seminar. Maybe it's like going to visit my friend. I don't, whatever you're most excited about. Then who misses out if I don't give my best? And this is a great way to kind of like reframe your day if you're having a crappy day at 7 a.m. already. Like if you're already kind of like in a downhill slide at 7 a.m. and you're like, who misses out if I don't give my best? It might be like, man, like I really need to show up for Yvonne. Like if I don't, like she's gonna miss out. I better get my ass in gear. Better turn around. So that's the morning routine. You just get a journal and write these down every day. The evening routine, favorite part of the day. So just kind of like a recap. Like, man, I wasn't really looking forward to that workout. I wanted to just stay in bed, but I proved myself wrong. I didn't hit the snooze button. I got out of bed. I went and worked out, and I feel so much better. So that was my favorite part of the day. It just really got me fired up. Or maybe like, hey, I got a compliment on the work I've done at a project, and that just really like makes me feel good. Who did I impact the most? So looking back on your day, like who was the person that you think you brought value to, and their life was better because you were around. And then the final question, I really love this question, how I choose to feel when I wake up. So setting the tone the night before for your next day. Like when you write this down, how I choose to feel when I wake up, grateful. I guarantee you, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna, like, you may like start to feel like go down the bad path, because it's so easy to go down that bad path. It's a habit, it's well entrenched, like we talked about. I wanna feel grateful, and you're boom, like you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I decided I'm not gonna feel that way, I'm gonna feel grateful. And like consciously choosing to do it. And you can change your emotions like that, and it's freaking awesome. Because I've dealt with like depression and anxiety and all sorts of stuff for a long, long time. I still do, but this like definitely helps give me intention and focus. So then we have the other like aspects of like filling in the square: health, professional, family, spiritual. So filling those in. Don't make it complicated. So the things that we wrote down as far as good habits, don't make it complicated. Like if you were to have 10 days in a row, you would only miss one day in that. Okay? Somebody who's not spiritual at all, like I'm not, like, cause you don't have anything written down there for spiritual, and I'm not like knocking you on it. So like maybe just like have just say like write down one thing you're grateful for, and just kind of like project out in the universe, whatever, whoever your God is. I'm not saying you have to be a Christian or whatever. It's just like, or you know, or maybe you haven't picked up a Bible in a long time, and you don't, like, you're worried about reading the Bible again. Don't even read a verse. Just pick the Bible up and then set it back down. Because eventually one day you're gonna be like, all right, screw it. I'm gonna open it up and read into it. Like the reason I had family on mine was I knew there was somebody in my family that I had wronged really badly, and I had been avoiding talking to them for a long time. And I was like, I was gonna run out of people to text. And eventually I was gonna have to text that person. And I did. And it was great. And I was like, hey man, you know, like I'm sorry, you know, XYZ thing happened. And you know, I just wanna let you know I love you and I miss you. And I wish we were still like hanging out or whatever. And you know, they were like, you know, obviously like gracious, and it was a good experience for me. So that's why I had that one on there. So you can choose something on there that's going to build to you doing something you truly don't want to do deep down, but you know you want to. Because this will eventually like force that out. So that's all of this in a nutshell. What we're going to be doing. Make it stupid easy, something that you can do 9 times out of 10, and filling these out throughout the next 6 weeks. So this starts on November 20th, this coming Monday, and then this is like really close to New Year's Eve, if not like we're like 2 days before it. So we're not going to have this, you know, 7 to 8 pounds gained. Not only that, but we're going to build confidence, because we're going to see that we can actually do good habits, and we're not a victim of our community, our upbringing, or our environment. That we can choose how we want to live our life with purpose, with intention of setting our habits. Because like once you get these things down, like with me, like, you know, the 1 post a day is not a big deal. Maybe I'll do like aim for 10 posts a week. You know, that's more than 1 a day. Or I'll, you know, for reading, I'll choose to read a half hour a day instead of 15 minutes a day. And you start to build that confidence. You know, picking that Bible up, you read 1 verse, and then maybe you read a chapter. You know, putting your workout shoes on, like that could be a habit. Every morning, just waking up and putting your workout shoes on, regardless of whether you're going to work out. Then maybe eventually you'll just walk down the street. But you don't have to. But every day, you sure as hell can put your shoes on, and then take them right back off. And eventually, you're going to get sick of just putting your shoes on, and you're eventually going to go for that walk. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited you guys are here. I really hope you guys get a lot out of it. If you guys have any questions specifically on what to do, I'm happy to like talk to you about it one-on-one. Other than that, like that, I'm done talking. You guys can ask questions or whatever you got. So thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Are you still doing the meal, ordering the meal?
Yeah, you can do, yeah.
Somehow or another, I've lost how to do that.
Okay, yeah. I'll send you it's just heartfuelmeals.com is the website.
Hard fuel.
Meals.com, yeah.
I need to get back on that.
Do we get one of those?
Yeah, you all get one. Yeah, I'll hand them
I
out.
was gonna, I can take a picture of it.
No.
You get
I
one?
printed them out for everybody.
Nice.
All right, you just gotta promise you'll do it.
I'll-
Okay. If you don't, you promise.
I do.
Okay, there we go. All right, good. There you go, Dan.
Better
There
ask
we go.
him.
Dan, you're gonna do it?
Try.
All right.
See?
Try. Okay, so put it up somewhere where you can't not see it every single day. Put it on your bathroom mirror.
That's for sure.
Put it. There you
Put it
go.
in
the
front of
refrigerator door.
on front of the
Put
toilet.
it on the refrigerator door. Put it in front of the toilet.
There you go.
Yeah. Did you get one this morning already?
Honestly, good idea.
Awesome. You better fill this right.
You.
There you go, boys. Dude has a family, so you can fill it up as much.
Oh.
Most.
I'm gonna put mine on the counter. Put yours on the fridge. Put one on the front, one on the side, actually.
Who's ready to take it on? Let's go. Frickin' go, guys.
Let's go.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
How you got all these Georgia colors in
This is American colors. What are you talking about?
No.
Red, white, and blue. Ain't no Georgia. The only dog in here is Rudy. Right, Rudy?
Now, that did create a lot of stress this weekend, because we were with a lot of Georgia people.
Ah,
And all
yeah.
they kept talking about was, oh, next weekend.
Yeah, probably. We're probably gonna get our butts kicked. That's all right.
But you know
though.
what?
They'll get theirs.
Blind hog can find an acorn every now and then.
Maybe if Tennessee had better habits. Yeah. Not just do good on the first drive and suck on the second, third, and fourth, and fifth.
Play the whole game.
Yeah, play the whole game, exactly. Cool, all right, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Yeah.
Give this pin back.
We can, if